Hey, what's going on everybody, and welcome to another Bedrock tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to build an updated wither cage or to update your current wither cage setup for 1.14 plus. So some of the changes that happened with the wither in 1.14 have affected wither cages. This was JX67's cage, and it no longer contains the explosions inside the cage. So I'm going to be explaining why you need to update, and the reason being is this is a brand new world download from my from my Universal Tree Farm tutorial. This wither cage used to be sufficient prior to 1.14, but some of the changes have affected the wither. Mainly, the cage no longer can contain blue skulls. So as you see right here, there is a line of redstone that is missing, and the snow golem has been killed off by the wither. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to fix this. So first things first, let's go ahead and get some bedrock, and we'll bring this out a little ways so we have room to work. You'll want to know the location of the cage first, and you'll want to know the break locations. The break locations are the same as they were in previous versions. So now that you have that bedrock, what you want to do is make a 3 tall section, and you'll want to have bedrock around this location, these locations right here, and then one on the top. And then you can go ahead and break this out right like that, so that there's a 3 high space for the wither to stand in. Now what you'll want to do is go ahead and bring this up and make a nice little 3x3 section of bedrock right like this, and this is going to contain the wither when you spawn him in. Now, I wouldn't recommend building up the entire cage because he will glitch out. So what you need to do is, after you get this set up, is you need to get a locator map, and you need to find the west side. So this map will always face north going up. If I'm facing up, that is always going to be north with the locator map. And then I need to face to the west. So over here on this side, what you'll need to do is come out by 4 blocks like this. And then you'll have 2 on the side, and you'll make kind of like a cross right here. See, that kind of looks like a cross right there. And now we can go ahead and summon in the wither. So let's go ahead and get our soul sand and wither skeleton skulls. We can go ahead and break this out. And even before he's finished warming up, you can go ahead and start placing in the bedrock. But if you're in survival mode, I would recommend that you wait until he spawns in so that the initial explosion doesn't hurt you. But anyways, now that that is done, what you'll need to do is you'll need to come out by 2 blocks, and you'll make a 2x5 right like this that is 3 blocks tall. So we'll do a 2x5 right like this, and you'll want to bring this all the way up to the top of this cage right here. So let's go ahead and bring this. And now over here on this side, we'll want to do the same thing. So you come out by 2, and you'll make a 2x5 and fill in all of this. And you could leave the corners out, or you could put the corners in. It doesn't really matter too much. Whatever you decide you want to do. It uses less bedrock to leave the corners out. But anyways, I'm going to do these other 2 sides real quick. Alright, now that we have this area done, it might be a good idea to go ahead and add another layer up here at the top. I don't think it's 100% needed, but sometimes I've noticed that the wither, if you're in survival mode and you're standing up here, the wither can sometimes target you and damage you. So if you want, you can add another 5x5 layer up here at the top. It may not be 100% necessary, but it could be a good idea to add extra bedrock up here just to be safe. So this is pretty much the wither cage already done. Now what we kind of want to do, just if you're in survival mode and you want to make sure that this guy can never target you, because if I'm standing right here in survival, the wither can actually see me, and sometimes skulls can escape out the bottom. So what we'll want to do is we want to get a dispenser, and we want to bring the dispenser right here facing in. And if you're placing in a snow golem, you'll need to make sure that he's at least one extra block out. So the snow golem needs to be a minimum of right here in order to keep from being damaged by the weather. And if you want, you can add more bedrock here, or you can add some solid blocks that have high blast resistance. I think that should be safe. But anyways, let's go ahead and add in the bedrock. So now that you have your dispenser location in place, you can go ahead and close this area off in bedrock. Just have like a little chute for the snowballs right here. And it depends on where you want the blocks to be broken at. So the break locations are always going to be to the east and to the south. And the break locations are going to be a 2x4 right here. That's 2 blocks tall. And then over here on the what is this? The east side, you'll have another 2x4 area. So let's pretend this bedrock wasn't there real quick. I just want to make sure you guys understand the break locations of this. So right here, these are the break locations, and also there's break locations here. Let's just remove some of this bedrock so I can show you. Here and here. Those are for the bottom, and there's additional break spots if you didn't have this bedrock up here. There are a few additional break spots in a 1x4 up here at the top. So a 4x4x1 area, or 4x1x4 rather. So these break spots right here. Now if the wither was to take damage by a snowball, which he doesn't take damage by the actual snowball, but if he was to get hit by it, you can see all of those blocks have been broken, and you'll get those blocks back in return. Now, if you're not using this top, that's why I said you can go ahead and fill this in with bedrock right here. But let's go ahead and replace the bedrock around this bottom section, because that will keep him from targeting you if you're in survival mode. So let's go ahead and encase that part. And it might be a good idea, if you're not using this spot, you can place another bedrock right there, and that will keep him from ever being able to target you in survival. Now, a general idea for funneling the blocks in, this is what I use for my universal tree farm. Obviously, the piston feed tape will be a little bit different if you're trying to funnel in more blocks or less blocks or something like that. But anyways, these 2 blocks right here, these 2 logs, these get shoved over to these 2 pistons, and then these 2 pistons shove them in, and then the rest of them are funneled in from the bottom. So we have 4 pistons that are all pushing up to these 4 pistons right here, and then these pistons will push it in. And just to give you a general idea of how the inside looks, this is pretty much the inside. I put a little bit of extra bedrock to protect things. Anything on this level pretty much needs to be bedrock unless you don't care about it being broken out. Like this log right here, doesn't really matter. If this log is broken out, it doesn't really affect anything. But anything else needs to be bedrock, and then you'll have to have something that's pretty high blast resistance up underneath that. If you use just glass, the glass can be broken. So just be aware of that. But anyways, that is going to do it for this tutorial. I really hope you found this useful and you use it in your tree farms. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.